trying.
Southwest of Ngumba Industrial Zone. The targets are civilians. One male, one female. Apparently they're specialists sent out there to investigate infectious diseases. They were frequent visitors to that devil's house in the Heyooo. If you recover them, we'll finally be able to get first-hand accounts of what's been going on in that place. Analysis, the map listening analysis, Marco. You need to help her.
You have arrived at your destination.
Alright, target extracted. Now extract the remaining target.
I was asked to show that man around here. Dangerous work. I hated every second. I wish I'd said no, but I was the only one on the team who spoke English. So we went to that factory. Bodies. Don't scare me. I'm used to seeing that blood. What could that be? Oh, his pen look like dermatromes. Dermatrones. What's the cause? Who would do such a thing? Hey, are you researching it as well? Better quit while you can. I've been here 5
Please
years.
select a landing zone.
But I've never seen anything like that.
The support helicopter requested.
Not that I hold it against him, really. He'd suspected I was infected for quite some time.
Extraction arrived at Mother
Is
Base.
it really suspected? I always wore full protective gear during examinations. There's no way I could be infected. So you needn't worry.
Amazing, boss. Puts us out in that situation.
Mission
Good work. Now exfiltrate.
exfiltrated.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete. Good morning.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. Great work.
They just don't know.
Boss, we placed the 2 targets in quarantine. They don't show signs of anything, but we'll monitor them just the same. If they had access to the Devil's House, I doubt they were sent there by some health organization. Cypher used them, and would have eliminated them eventually. But we'll protect them here. They've agreed to that. After all, we helped them out of the country as promised. The mission's complete. But boss, they've been behind the curtains at Ngumba. They examine the patients there nearly every day. They told us the patients were being made to listen to voices on tape. But the male target added something interesting. He said he doesn't know what was on the tapes because there was no English version. Of all the voices that were shoved down those people's throats, English was one of them. Boss, about Eli. I heard that one product of the Les Enfants Terribles project went missing in Africa. The age would be about right. Now, I'm not saying I think it's Eli, but I want to run a genetic test all the same. Don't worry, I'll have it done without him noticing. The test may take some time, but I'll tell you as soon as we have the results.
Please select a mission. Mission accepted.
soldiers' commander and their captive, the general's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Meli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt. Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid.
The map has been updated. Marker placed.
Find the child soldier's commander, and where they're holding the general's number 2 captive. You need to extract them both. You can check the location on your iDroid's map screen.
You have arrived at your destination.
Okay, that's the general's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss. There he is, the commander. Extract him.
Yo salama swami. Beta mona impila bambuta tate.
Hands up. Talk.
Mugi bagi sabe.
Another group of child soldiers. No, must be a squad they had out on patrol. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself. That's the target prisoner. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper. Boss, another child soldier has entered the village. Must have been out on patrol. Looks like they had more than one patrol out. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself.
Prisoner has died. Please select a landing zone. A support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Speedquad. On station at LZ. All that's left is to extract the commander. Alright, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete. Departing!
Extraction
You gotta
arrived.
extract him. Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care. emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper. Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, you ever seen these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa. Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. It'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
shortly. Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
All right. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection? Boss, a new job's come in. It's a hit. I'm the human trafficker who sent Shivani and the others to Nzoyabadia, where you ran into Skullface. The thing is, this guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid.